I'm starting to see this happen. Inventory is starting to climb. If you're going to list in August or September, you may want to consider doing it now because this is what I'm seeing. We're seeing a change. Everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. Right now, the market has been changing over the past 4 weeks. You may have not noticed it up until about a week ago, so you're probably gonna relate it, like most people are, to the interest rate increase that we just had. It's not something that I was expecting, or Varen, who is the mortgage broker I usually deal with, we weren't actually expecting this to happen, but there was two things that really stuck out to me as to why they justified this interest rate increase. One of them is that we had stronger job creation. The other thing that was also noted is that we're seeing average house prices increase at the same time. So I think this is how they justified increasing it by another 0.25%. But we were telling our clients 4 weeks ago now that, hey, we're seeing a change in the market, okay? Because what I do is we monitor inventory every day. So we're monitoring inventory every day and we're watching daily sales at the same time. So this gives us a good idea when the market is going to change. On a day-to-day basis, we don't actually really see it, but we start to see a trend downwards. And after 7 days or 10 days, we get a good picture of, yeah, it's continuously trending downwards and something's about to change over here. Well, guess what, guys? It did change and it was not a surprise. Even right now, I have people calling me and saying, oh, the market just changed. Well, it's not a huge surprise to us because we are monitoring the data. The other thing also is we were in the spring market and we haven't actually seen seasonality in the real estate market for a very long time because everything has been either very crazy or very depressed. And I think this is the first year now we're actually seeing a normal real estate market. What do I mean by normal real estate market? Well, what happens is at the beginning of the year, we usually start off with a lower inventory position. So basically January, February wasn't looking so great. And then starting March, everything started to pick up, but our inventory didn't pick up so much. It did come up, but not that much. So we basically entered the spring market starting into the mid of March and going into April. And guess what? Towards the end of June right now, it only makes sense that we're coming out of this spring market. What I mean by why we have this increase in sales in the springtime is because most people that are going to be moving or buying and selling during this time are going to try to settle their kids in the summertime so they can be in school for September and ready to go. This is why we see a lot of activity in that spring market. The other thing is that we had a different group of buyers this time as well that we haven't seen in the past. This group of buyers, I'll identify them as this. They basically are trying to time the market. So what they did was they actually sold their property and they sat in the sideline. Now what happened come March, April, May, they basically saw the prices were starting to go up, and back into multiple offer situations. So I think these people ended up having FOMO and they basically said, you know what, we got to get into this market right now because we're seeing the prices go up. So now guess what? We usually have about 5,000 transactions happen in the Toronto Real Estate Board on average in any given month. So 5,000 there, plus we had the spring market, plus we had these FOMO buyers. With all of this combined, we had a lot more sales happen than we expected and our inventory just didn't climb because we're absorbing these inventory pieces as they come onto the market. You might also be saying that, hey, listen, interest rate has been going up and how are people able to afford these houses still? The people that were struggling during this at the beginning over here, and we got a bunch of calls from these people. Well, those people, when they hit the market, they got lucky because the market just absorbed that inventory. Even though they may have been in a bit of a desperate situation, the market was receptive to absorbing that inventory because our buyer demand was so high and our inventory didn't grow. So now what we started to notice about 4 weeks ago, the listings that we had out there, we started to see less showings coming in for them, okay? And everything was going into multiple offers. So we saw less offers going in on houses at the same time. Another thing was that inventory, we started to see the inventory pick up and our daily sales drop off. So what I did was about 4 weeks ago, and if you are our clients and I know that you're going to be selling in the near future, you probably got a message from me or a phone call from me that said, hey, I'm starting to see this happen. Inventory is starting to climb. If you're going to list in August or September, you may want to consider doing it now because this is what I'm seeing. We're seeing a change. It wasn't a huge surprise, okay, to us that the market has shifted. And guess what's going to happen going into the summer? I think that as of today, we're kind of mid-June. We're at about 14,200 listings available for sale throughout the Toronto Real Estate Board in the GTA. We're going to hit 15,000 and probably a bit above 15,000 as we get into July. And what's going to happen? I think we're going to probably have a decent July and August. It's the summer months. We're probably going to see 4,500 to 5,000 sales each month, which is pretty decent still. And then we'll probably have a little bit of a lift in the market. And I think that little bit of a lift is going to come towards the end of September. October, we'll have our fall kind of market. And going into November, it's going to kind of die down again. So I think that there's a potential, 4 to 6 weeks over there where we'll have a fall market and then it'll die down again. If you are somebody that is going to be selling your house, you're going to say, well, Kabani just told me that we're going to have a fall market, so price is going to go up. I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm saying that the activity is going to pick up again for that fall market. It's not necessarily say the prices are going to come up. If you're also thinking that, hey, we're hearing rumors about another interest rate increase, it could happen. Again, I was wrong last time, but I'm going to take a shot at it again and say that I don't think that the interest rate is going to go up, okay? Because now when they're going to go back and look at the data, they're going to see that, our job creation, I don't think was as strong as what they previously saw. And the average price has actually leveled off and the transactions are coming down at the same time. So I think based on this information and knowing that people are already struggling with where the interest rates are at, I don't think that they're going to raise it up. Could be wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen. So if you're somebody that's in the market that's going to be selling a property and you're trying to time the market, are you going to try to time it to see if you can get a better number in the fall? It could be possible that you can, but I would actually ask you to look at it this way. What is your delta at the end of the day? And a quick example I'll give you is we listed a townhouse for $850. We ended up getting a bully offer just under $1 million, like 200 bucks less than $1 million. Then we had to think about it and say, hey, can we play this thing out to offer presentation day? We received a previous offer that was at $975, and that to my client, I was like, I can replace this offer for you. Like, I don't think I have a concern of getting $975 on offer day. When we get to $1 million, I'm like, this could go either way. Can we get $1 million? Can we get $975? Can we get $1,025,000? These are all good possibilities, but you got to look at it and say, hey, what am I willing to lose or what can I possibly gain? And my seller, I think, made a smart decision. They took that $1 million offer. Could they have gotten $20,000, $25,000 more or less? I think it's a possibility, but they took a safe bet. And I think that's the same way you got to look at it if you're going to be listing your property. If you're going to be listing it and saying, hey, there possibly could be a fall market and prices could go up, well, there's also a chance that prices can stay stable or they could go down a little bit as well with the increased inventory that we're seeing. Bottom line is nobody really knows and it's very hard to time the market. I think moving forward, as we go into the summer months, I think it's going to be a good opportunity for buyers to kind of get out there. Are they going to see a decrease in price where they were competing with homes? I don't really think so. Maybe a slight bit, but not really. But what's going to happen is I think the transaction is going to become a little bit more comfortable. You're not going to be dealing with 10 or 12 or 15 offers coming in on a property. Maybe you'll have 1 or 2 offers and maybe they might not be so great. Maybe you have 0 offers and you'll be able to put some conditions in there to protect yourself, like a home inspection and financing conditions. So I think the July and August market is still going to be very good, especially for the buyers and for sellers that have the right agent. I'll say that as well. If your property is presented well, I think that you guys will still do really well. And right now it's going to become very important for sellers to make sure that their property is presented really well because you're going to be competing with 15,000 other listings out there. It's going to really make a difference on how your property is going to be presented online. Overall, I don't think it's doom and gloom. I don't think we're going to go down and there's going to be a massive recession. I personally don't see that happening. Not in anyways in the short future, in the next 3 months. Whenever you want to try to guess about what's going to happen next year, I have no idea. So for the next few months, I think we're going to be okay, pretty stable. If you're going to buy and sell, I think it's going to be fine. Just make sure you trade in the same market. If you guys have any questions or want to talk about real estate, this is all I do. I really don't have any other hobbies. All I like to do is talk about real estate. So I'm gonna have a link to my calendar. Pick a slot there that works for you. There's no pressure. You wanna have a general conversation about where the market is going. You want my opinion on where certain pockets are going. I'll be more than happy to share my opinion. There's no pressure. You don't have to buy and sell with me. Just love to chat with you guys. And if I can kind of direct you in a good direction, I'm happy with that. So book an appointment with me. I'd love to get it on a phone call, 30-minute chat with you guys and give you my opinion on things. If you guys like this content, please share it with your friends, like it, subscribe, so you guys will be up to date on all of our new videos. Until next time, guys, remember one thing, get Kabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.